racing cars, and racing bikes are the usual vehicles everybody thinks of when it comes to racing/driving games. However, there are a few other racing games with different kinds of vehicles, and in this case we are gonna talk about jet skis. You might remember the legendary Wave Race 64 as a game with jet skis, but I will tackle RIPTIDE GP2 instead. Yes, this is the second game of the franchise and the first released on consoles, while the first game was only on mobile and PC, and no, I've never played it. So, RIPTIDE GP2, developed by Vector Unit, was originally a mobile game as well, released in 2013. That same year, though a few months later, it was released on PC as well, but then it hit the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One in 2015, and seriously, that was a very wise decision from Vector Unit, because otherwise I would have never found out about this game. And yes, I am glad to have found this game. To start off, you have three modes: Career, VR Challenge and Split Screen. Split Screen is local and can be played with 4 players total, which is always awesome. VR Challenge basically means that you drive against the set records of your friends. However, sadly, there is no online multiplayer, so yeah, if that turns you off, play something else. I personally don't care much about that, but still, I don't really understand why it's not in here. I mean, an online multiplayer with up to 8 or maybe even 12 players would be awesome. RIPTIDE GP2 would be perfect for this. To get that VR challenge instead of an actual online multiplayer seems kinda weak. In career mode, you will ride through various championships that you can unlock by getting stars. Hey, yeah, you can already see the mobile roots of this game. Because remember, this was a mobile game before it was even ported to consoles. But, well, okay, these aren't actual championships. These are just different races and race events divided in various, let's call them columns, that get more challenging as you progress. Which is fine for a small game like this, but when ported to consoles, there should have been an actual championship where you get points and whoever gets the most points wins the stars or something like that. Regarding the stars that you will need to progress, you get 3 for winning, 2 for being second, and 1 for the last place on the podium. If you are 4th or worse, then, well, obviously screw you. Well, okay, the game isn't that unforgiving, because you get experience after each race. Well, again, just look at this. This screen alone screams mobile game. If you get enough experience, then you can unlock one thing, but I will get to that later. Because first, let's take a look at everything else. I don't know how the game looks on mobile or even PC, but this PlayStation 4 version looks quite good overall. Sure, there's pop-in here and there, but other than that, no major glitches or anything. The backgrounds look quite nice and even the audience is fine, though they could have had more animations. I actually think that the game was nicely optimized for consoles. Yeah, it could have been better, I get it, but I've seen far worse even from AAA developers on current consoles like the PlayStation 5. The water looks quite good and riding on waves actually feels damn good. I'm not joking, it's really fun to ride around here. It's not only fun because of the waves or the physics, but the overall vibe in the game is just right. While there is a fair amount of tracks to ride on, some more challenging and technical than others, obviously, they all feel one-dimensional no matter if you ride at night or even with snow and ice around you. I mean, it's fun to ride on them, no questions about it, but after a while it can get monotonous because there is not much variation. I still beat and unlocked everything though, so despite all this, I had a lot of fun because the riding itself is fun. RIPTIDE GP 2 has the right amount of speed with or without nitro. It's not boringly slow or unnecessarily fast, it just feels right and is a lot of fun because of it. Regarding nitro, you will get nitro each time you jump and do a stunt. The more complex the stunt is, the more nitro you will get. However, don't do the same stunt on the same event because you will get less nitro each time. So always do different stunts to maximize the amount of nitro you can get, and this encourages variation, which is something I really like. While somewhat challenging to pull off, technically you can use an unlimited amount of boost if you hit every ramp, use the right stunts and keep moving. That way your opponents won't ever have a chance against you, but then again, it's a bit challenging to pull off that unlimited boost. But once you do it, especially with the really complex stunts, then you are golden. The AI can also be a son of a bitch. Yeah, they can be challenging, and while there seems to be rubber banding AI in here, it never gets annoying because the level of rubber banding is rather low. I mean, sometimes I was able to gain a 5-second lead and win with ease, so once again, if there is rubber banding, it's low level and not bothersome at all. But of course, other times I struggled a bit to keep up with the top 2 or even top 3 riders. You won't simply just race, because in total there are 4 different events: race, hot lap, elimination and freestyle. In freestyle you have 60 seconds to beat the current number 1, and like in the races where you get less boost, if you repeat the same stunts, in here you will suffer the same consequences. Repeating the stunts will give you less points, so pay attention to that. Hot lap is similar to the usual time trial. Just beat the time of the leader and you are golden. Race is obviously a no-brainer, and in elimination there will be a counter. Every 15 seconds the rider that is in last place will be eliminated. One thing about the race itself though, while I don't mind that you cannot set the difficulty, I found it to be a bit of a shame that you cannot set the amount of laps. Outside of one track which is really short and therefore has 3 laps, you will ride only for 2 laps on every other track. You might say that 2 laps are actually enough, and yes, I agree. But still, it would have been really nice to have the option to increase the number of laps. Now to what you can do otherwise. You get cash after each event, and with it you can upgrade or buy new, more powerful jet skis. But sadly, no matter the jet ski or how upgraded they all sound the same. But hey, at least you will feel the changes in your jet skis with each upgrade. In the beginning you might have a hard time controlling your vehicle, especially while cornering, but once you upgrade it, then you will feel the difference immediately and quite clearly. But even at their basic level, with no upgrades, the jet skis will be quite fun to ride around with. Repainting is also something you can do. Sure, it's very basic, let's say, and for the most part you can only change the colors, but still it's fine for what it is, I guess. Finally though, you will need to unlock tricks. Yes, unlock and not buy. You unlock these with the AP you will get from leveling up. To level up, you just need to get enough EXP. Tricks are 97, maybe even 98% of everything you can unlock, but there are boost levels and agility levels which can be helpful, but here, I don't know, the game needed a bit more than that. Either more things to unlock outside of the tricks, like maybe more characters or something. Because technically there is only one character, just in male or female. Overall though, I think RIPTIDE GP 2 is a good game from developers Vector Unit. Of course, the game could have been better, like looking less like a mobile game, and yes, the sequel will correct some issues I've mentioned here, but still, for what it is, this game is a lot of fun and worth the price, despite it being a bit on the shorter and maybe even slightly monotonous side.